chatting, rumbling, fuck, shake your tits and swing your dicks. Happy first day of a treat-day weekend. Now oil up those nipples and wax those taints. And let's kick the weekend off with another episode of your favorite internet sensation with libation, the Friday Wrap-Up. Before we get today's show kicked off, I want to tip my hat to tonight's libation. I'm actually drinking something new. You know, it's Memorial Day weekend's coming up. You know, so it's like the unofficial start of the summer. So, you know, you got to get those summer cocktails ready. You got to get those, like, canned beach cocktails ready. And you know I'm a big Happy Dad fan. Happy Dad hard seltzers. Well, Happy Dad came out with a hard iced tea. Now, I love iced tea. I'm an iced tea guy. You know, like in the summertime, I drink it all the time. I like to make, like, you know, I'm old school. Like, I like to make the sun tea. You know, like I cold brew it. So I saw this in the beer distributor yesterday. So I picked up a 6-pack. I want to try it. Like there's a hard iced tea. It's actually a vodka iced tea. It's called Surfside, which I've been imbibing on in one of my local joints, and I think it's delightful. Not a very high alcohol content, but it's one of those things you could sip on all day and not get like fucked up. But you know, Happy Dads have electrolytes in them. I think this has, it's just real brewed iced tea, 5% alcohol by volume. It's lemon flavored. It's one of those hard iced teas. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to debut it right here on tonight's episode of the Friday Wrap-Up. First time I'm trying it right now with all of you. So here we go. You got to enjoy a hard iced tea over ice. Okay? Normally hard iced teas are a little darker in color. But, you know, I'm not going to let that prejudice me. Let's check out the bouquet. Smells like iced tea. Azalu, to drink up and be somebody. You know what? Not bad. I like the Surfside better, but this is, I mean, it's not sweet, which I'm glad about because I don't like overly sweetened things. So it's got like one of those. I gotta take another swig. Yeah, it's almost like a. I prefer, like, if I drink iced tea, I prefer it to be strong, like coffee. This isn't as strong. It's not the strength level that I would prefer on like a tea, but it's kind of like a brewed iced tea, just unsweetened, which typically is what I like to drink. It's not as strong as I would normally like it, but the lemon flavoring to it, it hits the back of your palate. It's not bad. I like it. I would not mind I wouldn't complain if these were in my cooler over the summer or at the beach. So, Azaluda, once again, drink up and be somebody. Not a bad summer pickup. I mean, if I can't get, you know, Surfside, it's a vodka iced tea, so that I'd have to go to a liquor store for, but this you can pick up at a beer distributor because it's a hard seltzer. So, you know, not bad, okay? On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 7.4. Not bad, all right? So there you go. So like I said, it's Memorial Day weekend. Today is the official start of Memorial Day weekend, you know, which some people get all excited over. Oh my God, it's the unofficial start of the summer. You know, so I'm sure you have like your summer your Memorial Day weekend barbecue plans. Just remember, every fucking Memorial Day weekend for the last fucking umpteen years, it rains. So make sure you have your umbrellas handy, okay? So you know, what a week. It's been a busy week. I've been a little busy. I've been preoccupied. So you know, I haven't gotten out of the house much. So, but, if you were in the Bronx yesterday, you probably heard all the buzz. Trump held a rally in the Bronx, in the Boogie Down, okay, in Crotona Park. And, you know, all week long, these fucking libtard Democrat fucking motherfuckers, but, oh, he's not going to be able, no one's going to come to that. Yeah? Well, Trump held a fucking rally in the Bronx yesterday, and he had thousands. I was watching this on Fox. I mean, they did an aerial shot, and I swear to Christ, I think half of the 5 boroughs showed up for this shit. Like, I know people from the island that went all the way out there. People waiting in line in the rain for hours. Like, they lined up at like fucking 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And this thing, I don't think it happened till like late afternoon. It was just epic. Epic. Okay? I mean, there were so many people there that it harkened back. I mean, you know, they've been talking about, because Trump has been talking about doing a rally in Madison Square Garden. You know, this whole, like, fucking lawfare shit totally backfired. Like, I mean, the fact that the guy's stuck in New York, he has to go to court, he made the best of it. You know, on the lunch breaks from the court, he'd hit different neighborhoods in New York City, and people love him. New York City loves Donald Trump. Why not? He's one of ours. He's one of our own. He's a Queens kid. Okay, granted, he grew up with a silver spoon, but nonetheless, he's still a Queens guy. All right? You can't discount that. He's one of ours. You understand me? So, you know, he held this rally in the Bronx, and it was just fucking nuts, bro. It was nuts. It was just epic. Thousands of people showed up. You know, and Fox was walking around interviewing people, and I swear to God, half the people they interviewed all said they were Democrats. They made the mistake of voting for this feeble old fuck. Now they got buyer's remorse, and they were like, no, we're for Trump. And all of them were black, Hispanic. You know, there's white people too, of course, obviously. But, you know, I remember there was this one black guy, because, you know, they said, if you're not for Biden and you're not a Democrat, you ain't black. And the guy goes, no, I'm definitely black, but I was a Democrat. Biden's a disaster. I'm voting for Trump. And honestly, Trump did more for the black community than any other fucking president in the history of time. They compared this to when Reagan went to the Bronx back in the 80s. This is after the Carter disaster. And Reagan was the only Republican who turned New York red. New York has historically been a blue city, and I don't understand how, because I've never met, I've met a handful of New York Democrats. They're also fucking pillow biters, you know, but the majority of the people that I talk to, and I don't seek out Republicans. I don't even talk to people. I don't even like people. I look unpleasant 99.9% of the time, okay? But the people that tend to gravitate towards me usually are Republicans. I've yet to meet anybody that said they're voting for Biden this year. So it was refreshing to see all of these Democrats, you know, come back to the fucking light side and go, you know what? Yeah, we made a mistake. We admit it. We're voting for fucking Trump this time because this guy's an absolute epic disaster. So I was watching this last night on Fox. I was watching clips of of his rally, and I gotta say, Trump was just. I mean, you could tell the guy's having a ball. He spoke for like an hour and a half. Biden can't get to 14 minutes without like making 97 flubs. Trump is on fucking point. So in the middle of he's talking. He goes, and I'd like to call to the stage, an old friend of mine. Who's a Democrat, former city council member. He's been a senator for 50 years, Senator Ruben Diaz. And I'm thinking to myself, where is this going? So this guy comes up to the stage, black Puerto Rican. Guy's wearing a fucking white cowboy hat. I'm like, oh God, this isn't going to go well. And this guy spoke, and it was like, he's broken English. And he's basically praising it because Trump and him did business together when he was still a fucking real estate developer. And he goes, I'm up here, he goes, and I'm going to say I'm a Democrat, a black Puerto Rican with the kinky hair and the broken English, and I'm going to endorse Donald Trump for president. And the fucking crowd went nuts. Talk about a fucking brilliant move. So he brings up a black Puerto Rican Democrat, endorses him. He brings up a black Republican. He goes, give him hell. And the guy there were so many black and Hispanic people that genuinely want Donald. There is no way this man it's too big to ring. There is no way he is not winning. If he loses, there has to be an inquiry. There's no fucking way He's losing. So it was a great rally. And this guy, Senator Ruben Diaz, who's also a minister. I know, surprise. But then again, so am I. All right, Reverend Tommy. So he goes, and the AOC said it's going to rain today because even God don't want Donald Trump in the Bronx. He goes, but guess what? He goes, it stopped raining. It's a beautiful day. So I guess God wants Donald Trump in the Bronx, and AOC is not a prophet. And the fucking crowd went nuts. It went wild. So, I didn't get a lot of news in this week, but I got that, and it was fucking great to see. So Trump, Senator Diaz, azalud. So, all right, cheese, lobster, and Graceland, what do they all have in common? Well, they're all in the Friday wrap-up, baby. So strap in and hold on. Here we go. On the persecution of Trump. Trump on trial. So this week, if you were paying attention, kids, they finally were able to prove a crime and this whole Donald Trump trial, and it had nothing to do with Trump. So they put that fucking sloppy-faced that whiny little shit Michael Cohen on the stand. Trump's attorneys are cross-examining him, and they uncovered a crime. So while they're questioning him, they referenced this. Michael Cohen had when the prosecution was questioning, he referenced this invoice, which was a $50,000 invoice. And when the defense cross-examined them, they said, okay, so this $50,000 invoice, 50 grand was paid, but only 20,000 went to the company. What happened to the other 30? So basically, cutting through all the bullshit, Michael Cohen admitted to committing a crime. He admitted to stealing $60,000 in two separate transactions from the Trump organization because he felt he deserved it. I mean, totally blew up his credibility. Not only that, but the DA, that fat fucking fat Alvin Bragg, knew that, never charged him. $60,000. That is grand larceny. That is a felony. Never charged him for it. So no, it's exculpatory evidence. So the DA never disclosed that to the jury, never disclosed it to the court. That's right there, mistrial. Okay? You put a fucking criminal on the stand? This is what you hung your fucking hat on? So the defense attorneys got him to understand, under oath, got him to admit to stealing the $60,000 fucking dollars. That is grand larceny. You know what that gets you? 10 years in the fucking cooler, baby. All right? Believe me. 10 years in the cooler. They put a fucking guy on this who admitted to stealing the $60,000. So Trump's defense attorneys go, so you're basically a criminal. Okay, you're just gonna steal, lie, cheat. So his credibility went down the drain. So the judge, he got an itchy asshole now. So they wanted to bring an expert witness. Trump's attorneys wanted to put a witness who was an expert in campaign finance, and the judge denied it. Wouldn't let them. Never heard of such a thing. So the defense wants to bring an expert witness who's going to basically blow holes in the whole fucking thing. The judge would not allow it. So the defense calls Costello. Cohen's former attorney. And Costello, they put Costello on the stand, and he already testified for a congressional hearing, and basically said, look, when Michael Cohen was my client, I told him, he's facing jail time. He said, if you have anything on Trump, now is the time. And Michael Cohen said, I have nothing. He didn't do anything wrong. So basically, Costello shot holes through his entire fucking testimony. And every time this man spoke, the prosecution would object and the judge would sustain it. Now, when you have multiple objections, it pisses the jury off. What are you trying to hide? So every time, the guy's trying to, literally tell a story. This is the same judge that allowed Stormy Daniels to talk about all the different ways she gets fucked and how she sees ghosts and all this other shit. All shit that's completely irrelevant. Everything this is a known attorney. He's got an exceptional reputation. Here he is testifying under oath exactly what his former client said to him, and the prosecution kept objecting to it, so the guy couldn't finish his sentence. He couldn't tell the story, okay? And I guess he got annoyed. He must have rolled his eyes, and the fucking judge went ballistic. So Judge Juan Merchan clears the courtroom and exonerates Costello and says, if you roll your eyes, you're looking at me with contempt. If you roll your eyes one more time, I'm going to hold you in contempt. I'm going to strike your testimony from the fucking record, and that's that. Everything this judge is doing is illegal. He knows the fucking prosecution lost this case. So now the judge became the prosecutor. So now he's not allowing certain witnesses, which is illegal. It's a violation on a fair trial. You're impeding Donald Trump's right to a fair trial. You know, in any court, in any state, you're innocent until proven guilty, right? Not if you're Donald Trump. If you're Donald Trump, you're guilty until proven innocent. And even when you're proven innocent, they still want to tell you you're guilty. So he's skewing this in favor of the prosecution, hoping that the jury comes back with a guilty verdict. Even though it'll get overturned on appeal, if they say guilty now, that's all Biden wants there, because he'll keep saying it. Now, in my humble opinion, and I know a thing or two about the about the law and jurisprudence. I'm not an attorney by trade, but I've read the books. I've studied the I've studied the textbook for the bar exam. I know a few things about the law. You know, I'm not just some goomba that fell off a fucking 18th Avenue. I'm actually, I actually got a brain in my head. I know, shocking. I don't sound it, but trust me on this one. My opinion, I mean, I'm sure there's some plants on that jury, without a doubt, okay? I'd be shocked if they come back and with a not guilty verdict, okay? I would be stunned. However, I do not foresee this jury coming back and saying guilty. I really don't. I'd be equally surprised if they did. I mean, actually, I wouldn't be all that surprised, because that just means everybody in the jury is a plant. Because they never even addressed what the crime that they're charging Donald Trump was. They were never even able to prove it. Everybody they put on the stand said, yeah, this Trump had no knowledge of this. It was a legal expense. It was filed as a legal expense. He paid the legal expense. As a matter of fact, the expert witness that they were going to put up there, this campaign finance attorney, even said, no crime. This was not a campaign financing. The Justice Department of the United States didn't see a crime. There's no crime. Nothing. He did nothing illegal. Listen, Trump has he's never been bashful. He's always shot his mouth off. The guy lives in the public. If this guy did anything illegal, even a fucking parking ticket, they'd have found it by now. He'd be underneath the jail. If they came after me the way they came after Trump, I'd be doing 25 to life. I'll be honest with you. This guy is probably the most squeaky clean motherfucker I've ever seen in my life. Okay? I always think someone has a little dirt on their fingernails. I'm convinced this guy doesn't. He banged the porn star. We should all be that lucky. You know what I mean? So, there's no crime. They haven't been able to address a crime. They haven't been able to prove a crime. Nothing. So, I'm pretty sure this jury is going to come back. I really don't think they're going to acquit him, because I'm pretty sure there's some plants on it. But I'm more than confident they're going to come back as a hung jury. That's it. Case closed. So, in other Trump news, it was recently made public that when the feds raided Mar-a-Lago, The FBI agents were instructed to use lethal force if necessary if Trump was there and obstructed them in conducting their search. So they were told, you see him, shoot him. Like, that's a hit. It's a fucking hit. Biden put a hit on Donald Trump. That's how afraid they are of this guy. He told FBI agents, yeah, if they're there, you shoot them. So could you imagine an ex-president, if he happened to be there, go, what are you doing here? Why are you here? Bang! They would have fucking plugged him. Problem solved for the Democrats. Could you imagine? This is like third world country bullshit. This is how desperate they are. They are not even trying to hide it. This Juan Merchant, he's not even trying to hide the fact that this is a kangaroo court. I'm watching this and I'm saying to myself, if this can happen to him, imagine if they wanted to come after us. Holy shit. I don't have Trump money. If they wanted to come after me, I'd be doing 25 to life. I'd be a permanent resident at Sing Sing. Okay, granted, I could use the rest. But still, I can think of better places to rest, you know? Like, some tropical island would be just as nice. Just saying. Anyway, on another Biden blunder. So, Biden attended an NCAA conference this week and addressed the crowd, basically told them America's racist, because he's trying to get the black vote back and they're not having it. And as he's talking and rambling, he's talking about the time during the pandemic. And apparently Biden thought he was still vice president of the United States during COVID. He goes, yeah. He goes, when I was during COVID, when I was vice president, Barack sent me to Michigan. The man said this. I watched the press conference where, matter of fact, he also had like 19 other gaffes in that speech that the White House had to redact it and correct it. How embarrassing, okay? But he legitimately thought he was still the vice president during the pandemic and that Barack Obama had issued some fictitious edict for him to go to Michigan for what purpose, I don't know. This is the guy that people are saying is the president. There's like 13% of the world that go, Biden's doing a wonderful job, and I can't wait for him to be president again. I think all of these people should be burned at the stake. That's just me. If you think Joe Biden is even doing a remotely good job, you need to go to a doctor and get a checkup from the neck up. That's all I'm saying. Okay? This guy's a fucking absolute epic disaster. I don't really know why people think that the 13% or the 4% of the people out there think that this guy's doing a magnificent job. Just my 2 cents. Okay, kids, on Black and White, or maybe certain parties. Okay, kids, on Black and White. Fuck is Pop? Hey, Black and White. Hey, baby. How you doing, Big Mama? Ooh, Mama. Ooh, baby, I'm doing just fine. You looking? Ooh, boy. Big Mama, not to be rude or anything like that. Ooh, baby, you could be as rude as you want. Okay, that's nice. Where's Pops? Oh, baby, Pops, he can't be here tonight, so I'm going to fill in for him, if you don't mind, sugar. Okay, you crowd my, oh, baby, you like it close, you know what I'm saying? Not that close, Mama, not that close, okay? So, are you familiar with how the black and white thing? Baby, why don't you explain it to me? You know what I like? You like to do all these different topics. I got a good topic for you. Oh, yeah? You have a suggestion? Baby, I got lots of suggestions for you, baby. About the black and white segment. Oh. Talk to the camera, yeah. Yeah, I think... You like ice cream, baby? Ice cream? Yeah, ice cream, okay. I like ice cream, too. You know what my favorite flavor is? No. Vanilla chocolate swirl, baby. You know what I'm saying? You like a little swirl? No, actually, I like strawberry. Strawberry? Ooh, baby, you like the pink part. Ooh, I got some pink for you. Yeah, okay. Why don't we talk about today's topic? What's today's topic, baby? Midgets. Say what? What you saying, baby? Midgets. Look at the camera, big mama. Yeah, that's it, baby. That's it, baby. Ooh. Hey, baby. Ooh. You look even more handsome if I'm looking at you in the camera, baby. Ooh. 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 Okay. The camera. You see the camera? Okay. So, yeah, today's topic is midgets. Midgets. What you do? What you got about midgets? You like midgets or something? Yeah, I mean, midgets are fun. They come in different colors, black, white. You know how this works. We talk about, we pick a topic and we show the contrast between the black and white. So what we do now? We get naked or something? No. We keep our clothes on. We just cut to the video. You want to cut to the video? Yeah, baby. I want to cut to something. All right, let's go to the videotape. There we go.
Up high, spin and dip and jump and cavort and finish it off with a laugh and snort.
Now, why are you all excited about these little ass bitches? You know what you need? You need yourself a big woman. You need a full size baby. You know what I'm saying? With those big ass shoulders of yours. Midgets are funny. What can I tell you? Well, you know what, baby? I'm kind of short compared to you. You know what I'm saying? You can throw me around. You don't look like you're going to be gentle either. You look like you leave bruises, baby. Listen, my Big Mama was good seeing you. If you see Pops, tell him I want to see him. What you want to see that old motherfucker for? You can see anything you want on me, though. You know what I'm saying? Okay, all right. Listen, I'll let you know. All right, you have a nice day. You have a nice weekend. I hope you got some plans this weekend, baby. Or you want some plans with Big Mama? No. I'm actually gonna go to like a Jesuit priest retreat. I'm gonna, become one with the Lord. Oh, you a God-fearing baby? You wanna go to church or something? I'll make you see Jesus. Okay, all right. Listen, Big Mama, you have a good night. I got the rest of the show to do. You know what I mean? Okay, baby, you do what you gotta do. Big Mama be waiting for your ass. You're fine looking ass. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Oh boy, Pops and I are gonna have a conversation. This is not okay. Okay, kids. Get your tickets out because we're about to hop onto that maniacal, magical express with the mayhem and fuckery. The crazy train's about to leave the station. Oh, man! Woo, woo! First stop, New York City. So, apparently, there was a law student who was suffering this tragic addiction. She was addicted to cheese. Yes, you heard me. Cheese. So, Adela Kojab, who, as you can see, looks like a lovely young lady, apparently hasn't shit since high school. She's been addicted to cheese since she began her college career. She actually had to go to it was so bad that she had to go to a $6,000 a week rehab to kick her cheese habit. Why is this a problem? Like, who the fuck gets hooked on cheese? What are you doing? Are you blowing people in fucking Washington Square Park for a wheel of Colby Jack? Like, who's addicted to cheese? And the fucked up thing is she's actually pretty fucking cute. Okay? It's always the cute ones that are the most irregular. This is why I keep to myself, to be honest with you, because I swear to fucking Christ, everybody's insane. I mean, I will admit this, though. I would love to take this broad out to like a fondue joint or something and make her fall off the wagon. Like, she spent $6,000 a week for God knows how long to get off of her cheese addiction. Okay? I expected, when I read this story at first, I expected this girl to be like 400 pounds. She's cute, right? So, like, reading this, I want to take her out to a fondue place, okay? And make her OD on liquid cheese. By the time she's done, she'll be blowing Johns in the parking lot of a Stop and Shop for like some polio string cheese. Who gets addicted to cheese? Fucking millennials. Next stop, Orlando, Florida. So Red Lobster is going bankrupt. They say recent mismanagement, competition, and inflation and other factors brought down the Red Lobster. However, analysts and former Red Lobster employees say that other factors are the reason. I wonder what those other factors could be. Well, I guess we got our answer. Next stop, Memphis, baby. So apparently, there's been a little controversy around the King's Castle, Graceland. So, just to give you the Reader's Digest version, there was some investment firm or some credit lending firm in Memphis that was holding an auction to foreclose on Graceland because they say that Lisa Marie took a $3.8 million loan and put Graceland up as collateral for the loan and never repaid it. So now they're going to foreclose on Graceland. Fortunately, her daughter, Elvis's granddaughter, Riley Keough, is the only one in that family with a fucking brain in her head. She filed a lawsuit with the courts in Memphis to stop the auction, the foreclosure auction, because she said this whole thing is fraudulent. Apparently, Lisa Marie never took a $3.8 million loan. The notary that was on the paperwork that says, well, first of all, her signature was not, her signature on the loan documents were not Lisa Marie's. And the public notary that allegedly notarized these documents testified that she had never seen these documents, never met Lisa Marie Presley, and they were all fucking fraudulent. And the credit lending firm, or whatever the fuck it was, has like a bullshit number. So the judge granted the injunction, stopped the auction, deemed this thing to be fraudulent. So Graceland is in the clear and back within the possession of Elvis's granddaughter, Riley Keough. I mean, listen, you know, Elvis Presley was a fucking talented individual, the king of rock and roll, but let's face it, he did not have a mind for business. His ex-wife is a fucking ditz. She's an airhead, Priscilla. Okay, and Lisa Marie, God bless you, beautiful girl, but not all that. Thankfully, somebody in the family has some fucking cojones, and hopefully this girl holds on to Memphis, you know, in perpetuity. Next stop, California. So J-Lo and Ben Affleck are heading for divorce. I told you this was going to happen. He already moved out. Shocking. I mean, listen, I don't know what the fuck took this guy so long. They were married a week, and this bitch went and sold all of his motorcycles. Never mind divorce. That's grounds for justifiable homicide. If I had a bunch of vintage Harleys, and I was married to some lunatic Puerto Rican, and I come home and this son of a bitch sold all my bikes, I would be digging a hole. You understand? I would have killed this woman within 13 seconds, and there isn't a fucking court in the land that would have convicted me. Temporary insanity, justifiable homicide. I told you then, I said this on the show months ago, when this news first broke that she sold his motorcycles, I told you this marriage was not going to last. Uncle Tommy's always right. A-Rod must be laughing his dick off. This woman is the worst. She can't hold on to a man. She must be absolutely fucking awful. Okay? You can tell she's a difficult little Puerto Rican diva. Okay? You know, I mean, par for the course. It's always the cute ones. Hey, look at AOC with her googly eyes. She's a Puerto Rican girl. She looks pleasant, then she opens her mouth, and you want to put a Black & Decker drill through the side of your fucking head. I'm sure J-Lo is no different. Also a Bronx girl. Okay, kids, your sports update. So, Yankees and Padres tonight at 9:40. Mets and Giants tonight at 7:10. Phillies and Rockies tonight at 8:40. NHL playoffs. Oh, my God. If you walked outside your house Wednesday night and you listened carefully, you probably heard me swearing a fucking blue streak. So the Rangers played game 1 at the Garden Wednesday night and completely shit the bed. Like, I don't know what the fuck happened. I really don't fucking know. Scoreless. 3 periods. Scoreless. They had plenty of opportunities to score. The problem is the fucking Rangers are not aggressive with shots on goal. They're just not. They haven't been all season long. They pick and choose their shots. Yeah, that's nice for regular season hockey. We're in the fucking playoffs. You can't do that. You gotta fucking hammer that net like a fucking Bangkok hooker, okay? You just keep pounding the net, you'll get some shots across the fucking line. They just weren't doing that. But the second period, Florida had 22 shots. The fucking Rangers had 11. 11 fucking shots in 2 periods. Don't even get me started on the fucking third period. Then an empty net goal, which you know aggravates the fucking piss out of me. So it was just an epic fucking disaster. Like, they came to the Garden, it's like no one told them, yo, this is the semifinals. You gotta win this shit. So that said, that was Wednesday. It's a new day. Today's Friday. Rangers play the Panthers tonight at 8 o'clock. If they do not win this fucking game, you heard it from me first, they do not win this game, they don't win the series. Okay? You lose the second game at home in the Garden, you are not coming back from that. I'm sorry. As much as I want listen, nobody wants a fucking Stanley Cup for the Rangers more than me. Okay? Nobody. I'm telling you, nobody. In my lifetime, I've been a Ranger fan since I could fucking, think straight, okay? Since I could stand and walk, I've been a fucking Ranger fan. I've seen one Stanley Cup in my lifetime. That was 1994. I was in fucking high school. I'd like another one. I'm just saying. I mean, the Knicks already... Don't even get me started on them. I mean, you will, but... I just want a fucking Stanley Cup. Let this be the year. Beat the fucking Panthers tonight. Come on, boys. But they need to be more aggressive with their shots on goal. Sorry. Shesterkin is a fucking fantastic goalie. But, in order to win a hockey game, you actually have to score goals. You see how that works? So they play the Panthers tonight at 8 o'clock. Please, just let them win this fucking game. They lose it, that's it. Series is over. NBA playoffs. Well, the Knicks shit the bed on Sunday. Okay, they took it. First of all, I said Knicks in 6. I know what I said. I was fully confident they could beat the Pacers in 6 games. Didn't happen. Okay. They shit the bed on Sunday. Listen, I've been a Knicks fan a long time. Okay, it's an abusive relationship. That's why you got to have secondary basketball teams. I mean, my secondary basketball team back in the day was the Bulls. Well, the Bulls are not the Bulls anymore. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, all those guys are gone. I thought my secondary team could be the Brooklyn Nets. Thought I'm not even going to go down that road. So, when the Knicks are in the playoffs, I get excited. Because, it's an abusive relationship. You know you're going to get fucking smacked. You know you're going to catch a beating, but you go, maybe they're going to be different this time. And then they're not. And then they come back and they break your fucking teeth. So, hopefully next year, maybe they get it together. That and my hair might grow back red and curly. Okay, kids, on Tommy's Pub and Grub Review. We're going to do a little bit of a different riff on a Pub and Grub Review. So, we're going to talk about this new coffee bar that opened up in New York City. It's the IWC Coffee Bar. So what's so special about a coffee bar? Well, it's not just any coffee bar. It's not like a Dunkin' Donuts. It ain't like a fucking Starbucks. It's actually a watch store. So, if you've been watching the show for a long time and you've paid attention to the wrist candy, you probably figured out I'm a watch guy. 2 of my favorite things in the world, coffee and Swiss watches, okay? I'm a bit of a watch snob, okay? I try not to wear things that are flashy or ostentatious. I don't have a Rolex, okay? For a few reasons. 1, I don't want to remortgage my house to buy one. And 2, you say Rolex, everybody goes, oh my God, high-end, no, it's a big shot of it. So I don't, I have a few nice watches. Not a shit ton, but a few nice watches. So I have a buddy of mine who's just as bad as I am. We're it's a guy thing, it's a watch freak. I'm a bit of a watch freak. So there's a Swiss brand called IWC Schaffenhausen, which is probably one of the top 10 Swiss watches. It's very comparable to Rolex. Actually, in my opinion, I would even say quality-wise, it might even be mechanically, it might even be a little bit better. And I actually, this is a IWC. I'll give you a little bit of a better look. Okay, it's a nice high-end watch brand. Okay, I mean, these things could take a fucking beating. Okay, it's an automatic. It's a nice piece. So, IWC opened up a watch store in Midtown Manhattan, but it's a watch store coffee bar. So they have all high-end coffees from all over the world. I'm a big coffee buff. You can go in, you have an espresso, you have a cappuccino, you have some, a latte, whatever the fuck. And while you're there, you can watch shop, try on watches, buy a watch, remortgage the house, that type of thing. It's nice. So I think that's a fantastic kind of thing. It's right up my alley. I would probably be the most expensive fucking cup of coffee I ever had. See, I can't walk in there. I know me. IWC makes all those Top Gun watches too, which are fucking. I mean, if you're a watch person, these things are lights out. I mean, they probably start around like I think about 10, 12 grand, and then go up from there. But beautiful watches. So, long story short, I could never walk into this place, so I can't do an inside-out review because I know what would happen. I'd go in there for a cup of coffee, I'd probably drop like 15 G's. Okay, I don't need to be doing that shit. All right, I got bills to pay. You know, if you're in the area and you know you're not susceptible to watch porn, stop in, get a cup of coffee, take a look around at the inventory. I promise you will not be disappointed. I mean, like I said, when I say that these are comparable, if not possibly even superior in some ways to a Rolex, I mean they're not cheap. Don't get it twisted. They're not. These are not like cut rate type of watches. I'm not flexing. I'm just letting you know. But this was a unique kind of thing, so I had to bring it to your attention. In other pub and grub review news, I was just made privy to this information last night. So I've mentioned this place before, Carmela's in Franklin Square. It's a staple. Okay, Carmela's has been in Franklin Square, I think, like 50 plus years. So the original owner had sold it to this jerk off, and I even mentioned it on one of my public grub reviews. I actually almost killed this guy because I went there. I had to wait like an hour and a half for my food. They served me a frozen veal chop, and I almost fucking stabbed the guy with it. This guy was a jerk off from fucking Jump Street. You know, he's a wannabe walking around in his fucking Sergio Tacchini jumpsuit. He had a fucking Fugazi Rolex on. He's driving a fucking rented Rolls Royce. Meanwhile, this guy don't have two fucking nickels to rub together. So the guy ran the fucking joint to the ground, sold it to a bunch of guys, one of them being from Bayside, a couple guys from the neighborhood, whatever. So they buy the place. They had it for like, I think the last 6 or 7 months, and all of a sudden, they get hit with a fucking tax lien. So apparently this guy didn't pay the fucking taxes on the joint for like 2 years. So it accrued over $150,000 in taxes. So when they did the title search before they bought it, it didn't show. All of a sudden now it did. So now it hit the new owners with the tax bill. They couldn't pay it, so Town of Hempstead fucking shut them down. Now here's what happens with this thing. It's the sin. When you buy a company, you assume any debt that the company has. So the guy who sold the company to these new guys never disclosed the fact that he didn't pay the taxes on the joint for the last 2 years, and they had, $100,000 plus tax lien. And the juice is running on that. So when you don't pay it, they're hitting you with VIG. So what happened here is this. Okay? These guys, unknowingly that there was a tax lien, buy the fucking business from the guy, who still had an original note going back to the original owner. So they paid him out. They're paying the owner. All of a sudden, Town of Hempstead comes and hits them with a tax bill. They can't pay it. Town of Hempstead comes in and shuts them down. So now, they got a choice. They could pay off the tax lien, take a loss on the money they gave to the owner that they bought it from, and keep paying the note to the original owner. Or they file a suit with the county because the previous owner never disclosed the fact that he had a tax lien. They reverse the sale so they don't have to pay the tax bill, but they're out the money they paid the guy, and the original owner is fucked. Okay? Either way, this second person that bought the fucking place from the owner and sold it to these other guys, all he's got to do is file fucking bankruptcy, and he can't be sued by the previous owner or the guy he sold it to. However, tax liens are not coverable under bankruptcy, so he would just owe the fucking taxes in perpetuity, which means this business will never reopen. Okay? The juice on the tax lien has to eat up all the equity in the fucking business and the building, and then it goes to auction, and if somebody could fucking pay for it and pay the tax bills, then they get the building and everything else. So it's a sin that this staple in Franklin Square will never reopen, and all because some jerk off who had no idea what he was doing, had no business owning a fucking restaurant, thought he was going to put like some washed up fucking freestyle shit in there and it was going to be a success. All because this jerk off bought this fucking place, had no idea what he was doing, which I said that 2 years ago. Just ruined the Franklin Square staple. So, there's that. Okay, kids, on Right or Racist. As of 2017, the country with the highest number of billionaires in the world is the United States of America. Well, that's right, America. Fuck yeah. Here's your PSA. So, like I said, this weekend is Memorial Day weekend, and everybody gets all excited. Oh my God, it's summer. It's not summer. Summer doesn't actually start, I think, until the second week of June. Okay? So yeah, Memorial Day weekend's a big deal. Everybody goes to Jones Beach to see the fucking Blue Angels. How many times you gotta see the Blue Angels? Yeah, they fly and they do a little spiral. So if you try to go to the beach, you can't get anywhere near this fucking shit because the traffic is ridiculous. Okay? Everybody makes a big deal about Memorial Day, but they forget what Memorial Day is really about. You're supposed to be honoring, servicemen and women who gave their lives for the freedom of the country, which Joe Biden is now taking a big fucking moist cornfield diarrhea shit on. So don't forget that this weekend while you're imbibing and barbecuing, and more importantly, settle down. It's going to rain, okay? It's not going to be delightful as you think. And yeah, it's not really the official start of summer. Summer starts in June, and it runs till the 4th of July, and then by July 5th, summer's over. Okay? I hate to be the bearer of bad news for you fuckers, but that's the way it usually goes. Okay? So enjoy your Memorial Day weekend for what it's worth. Stay COVIDless, kids. Don't mask, don't ask. Haters and kiss my ass. And remember, who loves you, babe? It's been your Friday wrap-up. I'll see you when I see you.